It's an incredible natural wonder, the world's most active volcano. And today we're gonna get up close and personal with its live streaming infrastructure. Let's do it. We're here at the foot of the mountain. This is where the tourist shuttles come to drop people off who want to hike up and stream the experience. And they call it the mountain, the feed, and the contract. That's also the name of our series about the economics of streaming. But I thought I'd start today with a little story. The sun hasn't quite risen yet, but there's already a line of tourist shuttles waiting to start the day. They hiss and sigh with recycled air conditioning. This is the most luxurious bus you can take from the city. A glass ceiling lets passengers gaze at the ceiling, which is nice because the interior is covered with reminder ads for everything you'll see on the hike. Violet dawn glows behind the volcano when the shuttle hisses to a halt at the trailhead. Sulfur whispers on the breeze, but the louder sound is the click-clack of micro-drones unfolding their rotors and the metallic snap of climples, extreme bands tightening around wrists. Among the 20 hikers stands profile at @ashtrail_07, scarlet shell jacket for algorithmic pop, a 360 camera on her shoulder, and 312,842 followers riding a gleaming data cloud. In her hand, a small capsule hums and glows. She pops it open and drops it onto her wrist. It's about the size of a fancy watch, sleek, curved, a thin band connecting to smooth discs. That's the Klimpulse, a biometric wearable designed to track your exertion and broadcast it to your live audience. When she taps Go Live, a holographic heads-up display blooms in her vision. Heart rate, a saturation, applause sparks, and lower right. The all-important rescue credit wallet. Starting balance, 150. A rocket emoji streaks up the chat. Before taking a single step, she must hear, by law, the device's text-to-speech. Clause 11b. The costs of aerial evacuation, ground assistance, or neural upload will be calculated in real time and covered solely by interactions generated during this broadcast. Laughter ripples through the group, sounds like overpriced travel insurance, and they set off along bamboo boardwalks lit with pastel, LEDs hash, breadhead venture, heaven at your feet. Her metrics are steady as she cruises through the acclimation zone, but every scenic corner is passing beneath a wooden arch. Her band vibrates. Photo op challenge pose within 90s, earn plus 10 credits. At @ashtrail_07 springs into a jump shot against the sunrise. Filters flare neon, spectators flood boosts from a coffee emoji to the golden rocket. On her HUD, the wallet climbs to 480. Global leaderboard. At noon, the broadcast flips to drone mode. A selfie quadcopter orbits the hikers, giving viewers their choice of camera angles and an AI-driven soundtrack that adapts to her biometrics. The trail morphs into catwalk, wilderness into studio. A poll viewer Fundi decides which freeze-dried lunch she should sample. Lavikari wins and injects another 70 credits. Yet the cost is invisible. The path steepens. Earth turns to black cinder that slides underfoot. The guide's voice, muffled by earbuds, warns of the upcoming rolling ash zone. The chat is busy spamming heart emojis, synced to her 128 BPM pulse graph. By the time the hikers reach the last stretch of boardwalks, most of the group have lost connection to the trail's Wi-Fi mesh network. But at @ashtrail_07 still has enough strength for one more trick. When the path forks, her band buzzes again. Stumped by nature, stumped by tech, use Lifeline for 20 credits. Her rivals are at 2,100 meters, so she activates the feature. Instantly, a small team of park rangers appears, one holding out a pristine white stump, another adjusting her bag. Their faces are obscured by what look like VR goggles. A third films with a gimbal-mounted smartphone. With a few hand gestures, they help her pose for photos, for selfies, for a little skit she writes on the fly. She leans into the stump, pretending to be stumped, then jumps back with a start. All the while the drone follows, tilting, banking, keeping her center stage. As soon as the shoot wraps, the platform serves up the new footage to her growing audience. It's just enough to nudge her ahead of her nearest rival. Then it's time for the final challenge. As the boardwalk ends, the volcano wakes with a roar. Ash swipes across the screen to reveal a warning overlay. Enter the danger zone. At 150 meters, the jungle trail peters out. Only the volcanic slope remains like a conveyor belt of charcoal marbles. Guides order drones, grounded, and streams muted whines. Too strong, risk of collision. But algorithms hate silence. If the stream pauses, engagement, ranking, sponsorship, or plummet. The band offers a flashing new feature. Store mode. Earn 2 likes while broadcasting in hazardous conditions. The button pulses radioactive purple. At ashtrail_07, hesitate. Her wallet shows 720 credits. Decent, but not full hell. Rival streams are dropping viewers. This is her window to leapfrog the rankings. 1 breath, 1 tap. Activate storm mode. Party siren. The HUD flips to searing orange. A banner reads, "Congratulations. You've entered the risk zone." Each minute now earns double likes. The chat detonates. Cascades of emojis rain down the screen. Dust devils swirl around her boots. The camera catches her face smile stretched tight, red hazard lead flickering in both pupils. She checks the counter. 720. 725. 738. Chips on a roulette wheel. She takes her first step onto the rolling ash. A drone claws skyward to keep up. The audio spikes wind raw. Static then cuts to black. Title card sliding into the feed. Sorry. At ashtrail_07's stream is temporarily unavailable due to technical difficulties. Please try again later. We've seen the best and worst case scenarios for streamers on the mountain, but how does it actually work? Well, let's take a closer look at the technology that makes it all possible. Okay, let's break this down a bit. Here's what we know. From a certain point on the mountain, you can make a live stream that's beamed around the world. Along the way, that stream gets watched, liked, boosted, subscribed, and all those actions become credits for you to spend on the mountain. Those credits can pay for boosts, for better camera angles, for extra time with the rangers, even for your helicopter ride off the mountain if you need it. What we don't know is what happens after you run out of credits. We imagine you might pay for medical attention, or maybe even upload yourself to the cloud. But since no one leaves the mountain without being fully uploaded, we can assume anything else is on the house. So let's talk about the hardware. On your person, you have the Klimpulse clipped to your wrist, tracking your stats and beaming them to the cloud. You have a phone in your pocket, which you use for calls and texts, although those aren't cheap. And you have a 360-degree camera around your neck, capturing every angle of your hike. Now that's a lot of equipment, but it's not exactly cutting edge. The phone isn't even recording this. The whole thing is captured by a production studio downtown that looks like this. You might notice some similarities between this studio and the old-school production studios of the mid-2000s. Instead of people sitting behind cameras, there are people sitting in front of screens. And instead of cameras capturing angles, computers are generating them. Because all these screens are showing us the 360-degree feed from the volcano. We can pan and zoom and swoop anywhere we want. Now let's talk about the software. Every piece of content on the platform comes with a Cliff Notes file. That's a data packet that tells you how long the clip is, who made it, and why it was made. And every action you take on the platform adds to that file. So when someone watches a clip, the Cliff Notes file includes that data. If they like the clip, that data gets bundled in and sent to the studio where the show originates. The producer uses this data to decide what to show and when to show it. And when the show ends, the data goes back up to the cloud. There it waits until a distributor compiles all the Cliff Notes files into something called a crate. That's basically a giant database. The more popular a crate is, the higher it ranks on search results. So, a crate full of clips from a popular volcano will be shown to a lot of people. Finally, let's talk about the algorithm. Remember, everything on this platform is created and curated by an algorithm. The algorithm decides what videos get made, how much money you make, and who sees your stream. But the algorithm doesn't work alone. There are humans at every level making sure things stay on track. Humans write the rules, program the algorithm, select the producers, curate the crates. It's a hybrid system designed to make great content as efficiently as possible. So let me ask you a question. Who owns the data collected from the mountain? Is it the hiker, the platform, the tourist, or is it all owned by the volcano itself? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, check out this playlist for even more adventures in the meta. Thanks for watching. See you next time.